Can you hear me now? Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Potentially. Awesome. Nice. Nice. Alright. So we're set with that with our Stream Matters battle. Let's see what else we got going on here for our army and all that good stuff. Let's go over here to the quests in the store first. Let's see, they want me to place pallies tonight or barbarians. Pallies or barbarians? Alright, back to cleaning Foie. Starting to warm up enough now that it's starting to get to room temp that it's spreading a bit easier. Give me your blood. It's very nutty compared to your typical liver. And all livers are very veiny, but this one's got a texture where it shows. So we're doing all this to pull the veins out of the mixture. A lot of restaurants will do as I said earlier, they'll either pair it with something sweet or like a fruit jam. Yeah, it's typically a playing off the nuttiness of it. And I'm doing this for 3 dinners in mind. Going to be doing this for the tuna carpaccio tonight. And then this is going to be tomorrow with fried duck and waffles with foie gras. And then Sunday, or Friday, is going to be foie gras ravioli. I haven't quite thought through what all I'm going to put in the ravioli with them. Ooh, we definitely want that in there. This is also not your traditional way of getting all those veins out of this. This is sort of a, because I bought it this way sort of a thing. Your typical way, and why foie gras will often cost a lot of money, is you have to spend the time, you have to have a cook spend the time to pull the veins out of it. If you got a whole lobe, you can find all and follow all of the large ones nice and easy. But what I bought was sort of it's a high grade foie gras, but it's been chopped up wrong way. Because what they do is they try to sell nice whole slices of foie gras instead of, they do whole lobes, they do slices, and then this is the leftovers from making the slices. So this is sort of like a little bit, the scraps left over almost of the good stuff at the same time. Welcome in, Celtic. How you doing? This is also incredibly dulling to my knife because I keep scraping against my board. Something I never advocate doing. Nice. Foie gras or Le Bernardin fan? This one's going to have some actual pieces of vein to worry about. Oh, shut up, Bridge. Pull all the veins out because it's been, traditionally it's cleaned. If you get a whole lobe, you can follow the veins down nice and easily. This one, I bought it, sort of like the scraps. Good quality foie gras, but sort of like chopped up because the remains of them trying to make nice slices. And so I'm trying to make sure and get a nice consistency for my creation. As you can see, you can still see the vein pieces still hanging out here and here and here, there and there. And pushing the rest through. You can see it in this too, all the veins left over in that. This is not the way you want to do it. I mean, if you're serving it whole, if you're serving even in parts, this is obviously not what you want to do. But if you're doing a terrine, you're making foie gras butter, which is essentially what I'm doing. It is perfectly fine for that. This is also foie gras that's been frozen. I'm not using fresh this time. I ordered a bunch of foie gras because it was going to cost me to ship it out here. And so I froze half of it. And we're working on that frozen half this week. Okay. Make sure we go to get clean on the strainer, just so it doesn't all dry on there at all. We'll come back and clean it properly later, but make sure it's all denastified. Don't know if the bottom of this is dirty. We'll clean up all of this goodness. Oh, I'm in a team. It's sort of dead these days, but I don't know necessarily why either, Celtic. But I appreciate you hanging out with me. The truth is, I've said it before, but a lot of the team channels, because you have to be a partner on Twitch in order to start a team on Twitch. So that just means that the majority of those teams are really just people following that partner. and that partner using the team to further their growth. Should it be properly run, it'll help everyone out, but so few of them are. All right, now that we got this done, we got our foie gras strained. Let's go work on our tuna. This I'm going to throw in the fridge to allow it to set up a little bit. Last 6 minutes on Stream Raiders. For your comments to get sniped. You posted one earlier with what my bot thought was a link. If you don't put a space after a period, sometimes it thinks it's a website link. Apologize for that, Celtic, if you didn't post a link there. Okay, so debating how I want to go about this for tonight's dinner. I definitely want to slice off this section. And then this, I think I'm going to slice this in 2 or 3 here. Well, Celtic, I don't really want to say it, but there's quite a possibility that that lovely community of Twitch has decided that they don't like me. I don't know. But I would think I would get rated every once in a blue moon. I've sort of given up on rating others. in the food and drink category. All right, so next step with our tuna. So we need some plastic wrap. Okay, I've nicely coated my board. 1 layer of plastic wrap. 2 sides. And then I'm going to carefully place the tuna. Let's go thin over thin. And instead of, Le Bernardin does a lovely, like, angled, like, slit, like, design that fits their plate perfectly. I am instead going to shoot for a circle, sort of like a plate. All right, so we got a layer of plastic on top, a layer of plastic on bottom. Then we're going to use my flat bottom cast iron because my other tenderizer has bumps on it. That's not going to be very good for getting a flat piece of tuna. And we're just going to... Actually, I'm sort of tempted if I want to pound on top of that. Let's do our battle first, though. I'll think on that. Uh-oh, do we have any tanks here? We got anyone that's going to take on the tanking? Oh, we got 1 tank there from Hazel. Clipper. Yeah, there is something therapeutic to the whole pounding on meat. Victory. Though, to be honest, with chicken parm, I typically just sort of slice it somewhat thin. You're kidding me getting those assists for us. Ooh, goodies for me. I didn't even see who got the goodies on that map. I just plowed right through it. Who got the winnings? Who got the goodies? I'm picturing Clipper's kitchen on Chicken Parm Day just being kitchen chicken. Hmm. I'm gonna put a barbarian out there. We're gonna hug this gem over here. I'm forgetting where it is that I did that. But I worked somewhere where we wrapped like everything in plastic. Um let's pound some tuna. So I have some thicker areas and thinner areas here. Yeah, I sort of wanted to get this down the most though. And this is tuna, so you don't have to use tremendous amount of force. Okay, so now I've got that pounded out nicely. Let's see what we got as far as plates where I want to put this on. Is that going to work well with my charger? Yeah. Yeah, I don't do a ton of... I do hang out in some categories, but typically I'm hanging out in music, I'm in art, in other games. I don't do a ton of food and drink. That's partially because I tend to watch those shows and then get irritated about the things that irritate me about myself or my own stream, or things I wish I could improve. And yeah. So that's going to go in the fridge like that, just to let it stay nice and chilled. But we've now got it sliced into somewhat of a circle. The remains of both this and these outer edges I'm going to put into some just basic standard tartare. Yeah, I shouldn't have put the plastic wrap away yet. And we all have ways that we like doing things, whether they're right or wrong. And you'll see someone do something, you're like... And certainly, sometimes it's something you're like, oh, why didn't I ever think of doing that? But also, a lot of times, like, well, why don't you try it this way? But then you come off saying, like, sounding like you know better, especially if you got chef in your name. Okay, so now we got our nice foie gras mixture. I think I'm going to do 3 different setups here. And I am going to mix that with a little seasoning first. So we'll add some salt in there. You want to add shallot in here. You want to add in truffle in here. Anything along that line. Some herbs. I'm just going to keep it sort of clean since I'm using it for several dishes. And then when I'm doing, can I do this on the board? What is my opinion of truffle oil? Is it legit truffle oil? Or is it the majority of truffle oil that's made with a flavoring that's also used to replicate foot smell. If it's actual truffle oil, like you actually infuse some oil in truffle with truffles, I'm all for it. Yep. I agree, Celtic. At the same time, I will say that it is a smaller and smaller few who dictate and who actually do the chefing. Uh, and the greatest example of that is right now, all of the mom and pops getting shut down, whether it's because of COVID or it's because of delivery services. And now we've got delivery services with these ghost kitchens that are essentially making menus like streamer swag. Like Mr. Beast has his own restaurant theme now. You can buy Mr. Beast burgers in certain locations. And I think that's only the start of that trend. Because what we have showing up here with delivery popping up so much is you have all these franchises that want to be everywhere, whether they have a franchise there or not, whether they have franchisees there or not, they want to be there. And so now we have these businesses called ghost kitchens, which are essentially a commissary. They're a kitchen that pretends to be multiple restaurants online, and they can be well-known restaurants. You know, Cheesecake Factory and what's the Asian restaurant that is all in every shopping mall on earth? They're doing this, and so the PF Chang's, and so the result of that is now you have these kitchens set up to work exclusively for delivery. Why not do that for major names that are going to get them sales? But from the chef side of it, that means that now we have thousands, if not millions, of back bar hack cooks that actually had a little creativity and could maybe create a couple specials a week or do something of their own. And now they're just going to be replaced by delivery. It hurts my soul too, Clipper. That's why I rant on it. But you have McDonald's doing that too. You have, well, pretty much all of the fast food companies are all like, well, this is such and such athlete's, favorite meal at our place. And they're turning it into a combo meal, It's because it sells. Everyone's got to try what they have. Squeeze out the air bubble. No air bubble. Welcome in, Goat Lord. I did not know that. It doesn't shock me, but I didn't know that. I know it certainly wasn't chickens. Chickens we basically created in the 1950s. We raised chickens before the 40s and 50s, but essentially just for eggs. And past then, we actually started breeding them for meat. Nice, Celtic. And so we're going to take those and throw those in the fridge too. And we want these to set up a little bit before we try and poach them. I'm going to give these a quick poach just to sort of seal them all up together. Yeah, a good portion of her. It's surprising how much. Well, it isn't at the same time, but I mean, there was a ton of tech created in the World Wars, both 1 and 2. There was a lot of food tech, too. Keeping people fed on the wrong things. I view a lot of our, in the U.S., a lot of our production, a lot of everything of ours is based off of corn and soy. And I think that was war too. Because prior to World War II, your sources of wheat were in Europe, your sources of rice were in Asia. So what do we do in America? Well, let's push up the things that grow in America. Maize and soy. Create 1,000,001 products off them, be able to feed our country off of them if we have to. And then industry just took it and ran with it. I'm just mincing this up nice and small for... I'm going to toss this with a little tamari and some of our leftovers. Tamari, maybe some olive oil, salt, pepper. Tuna doesn't need much to be tasty. Yeah, I figured it out overnight. My opinion for anyone out there is, unless you're really, really into knives, just get a 19 or 20 inch or 20 degree knife grinder. It costs you $150. Whetstone is an amazing thing if you got a knife that needs a whetstone, or you're really worried about getting your knife. I mean, you can grind a knife so you can have a cutting in different directions and all sorts of stuff. And I toy with that a little bit, but for the most part, you don't need to bother too much with a whetstone. Although I will tell you, 99% of learning it is learning how to keep the right angle while you are sharpening, and to use the heavier ones when you actually need the heavier ones. I think a lot of people start off with two problems. They start off grinding forever on their lighter stones, thinking that they're close, but they really should be doing something heavier and then coming over to there. And the other one is they, when they're sharpening against a stone, they're doing something, as they're going along, and so that angle is all over the place. Do I have one that I can show you? I don't know where they are. I haven't used them in ages, so I don't see them in here. Another option is they actually have guides. Where would that be? Is maybe with my sharpener over here? I don't see it back there. They actually have metal guides that you can snap onto the back of the blade that will hold it in place, and that you can do that. The real problem with those is that it doesn't hold it the whole time. You got to start with it and try and hold the shape afterward. But that's what little knowledge I can give you for that. It's one of those definitely learned skills, not something that you can just, well, do it that way. Why not? I had a bag of ice over here. I still have that. A while back there, just about everywhere I was going online, I couldn't stop people advertising those mount the knife to your counter whetstone grinders. I haven't tried one of those. I have no idea what they're like. But there are ones that you move the whetstone and the knife is clamped, where it looks like it's a good way to slice yourself in the stomach. Basically, you have a clamp that clamps to your table, and your knife then clamps like that. Clamps like that. And then it has a pole coming up, and it holds the perfect angle for you to go like that against it. I have no idea how accurate those are. They seem like a nice design. And the design has been around for ages. It's not a new thing. The downside to those that I see just looking at them as they have really small stones. I don't know how long those stones last. And they're probably a proprietary size cut just for their thing. But beyond that, sort of an interesting design. Reading Celtics comment there. We need some bread for our dinner tonight. I'm thinking I'm going to use 2 sort of thin slices. Sort of a... Not 100% about this bread. I haven't had this one. I am familiar with the bakery. It's right downtown Sonoma. Mm-hmm. Realize I probably want to do a couple more of these for the carpaccio and not just the pounded tuna. Which, by the way, Twitch tried to prevent me from using pounded tuna as my stream title. It's apparently too risque. A little olive oil and a mister. Turn the fan on low. Ooh, last chance. 40 seconds till our next battle. You're more than welcome to throw the link in our Discord, Celtic, if you're in the Discord. I just try and keep it out. I just have links disabled for non-subs just to prevent the bots from coming in here and throwing links up. All right. What do we want to do for... Want to do a killing field out here? Let's try a killing field. Yeah, it got a lot further than I thought we would have. Think we got it. Think we got it. Lost about a quarter of our units, but I think we got it. Victory. You're kidding me getting us some assists. Lish. Entropy. You're kidding me also getting a bunch of kills there. Hazeltari picking up the gold. I think I'm going to do a healer this time. Back here near the crystal. Which means we need some tanks. Some melee would help too. I'll let you fill in the rest. Well, we could use some archers and healers and flag bearers and all good stuff. Yeah, Clipper, you do want to soak them, your stones, for a considerable amount of time. Especially, well, if they're water stones. But if they're suggesting soak them in water, they're probably water stones instead of oil stones. And that's because they're porous, and you want to make sure and soak them fully with water. That's interesting, Celtic. All right, so we got our tuna pounded out. We got our prep tuna set up here. We got our bread just about ready to go in the oven. Let's get started with the water for our poaching. I'm just going to go ahead and throw the bread in. Take a look at that in about 12 minutes. Just getting a nice toast and crisping them up. What else can we get going while we're waiting? I think we're just waiting. Anything I can do for tomorrow? I don't have the duck for tomorrow yet. Otherwise, I would cut up that and get that soaking in something. This isn't really a dish that really has an... Oh, that's what we can do. We can do some garnish. Less legs with these chives. So I'm picking out some of the still usable ones here. But straight razors is one of those things that I almost feel like don't need to be sharpened. Like you could, you're gonna hate me for this probably, Celtic, but I feel like they're one of those. They're essentially disposable because of how easy they are to lap or hone. That as long as you're honing them constantly, I don't know that you really need to. No, I've been enjoying the conversation. Don't worry about it, Celtic. Mm. Speaking of honing, I wish I had known that these chives were looking like this. On the edge this much. Might have gotten a little bit more today. Mm. Chives. I don't know how much of this I actually need for this. I don't trust it. I'm going to look at the bread. I'm going to flip them. Yeah. Good call. I'm going to spray them on the other side now. Throw them back in the oven. Give them the rest of that time. I'm not trying to use all the shallot, that's why I'm being a little delicate here. I actually probably only need the outer layer on this. Alright, these will go in the fridge. Hmm. I mean, we only need enough of this to replicate essentially what we got up there. Any of these too wide? That's a bit too wide. Bread, which I completely forgotten about. That's looking nice. Nice light toast on them. They're crispy, but still got a little bit of that breadiness to them. Almost perfect crouton style, for my opinion. On the lighter end, definitely of a crostini. You can definitely go darker on those for crostini type dish, which this is sort of, but I wanted to go a little bit lighter too. Oh, we can kill the heat from the oven now, though. Realizing now that I need more shallot for with this over here. Really, fillet knives, I think, are something you can actually have be relatively dull. Butcher knives, I want sharp. But then again, you don't need expensive butcher knives. You just need them sharp. Hey, Bun Buns! So, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a light toss. Put the ice back over the top of that. Just let it hang out. We're doing pretty good, Bun Buns. Just about to poach some foie gras. We have our 3 foie gras. I don't know, you want to call them a torchon at this point? But we're going to poach each of these individually, short period of time. These are only going to go into the water for a matter of about 3 minutes. And then we're going to throw them back in the fridge. So, in going with number 1. And out with number 1. Because that was not enough water in there. We need to submerge them. But you can see even a couple of seconds the difference. Need more water. Probably boiled it all off doing other stuff. Just water. Got 8 minutes on another Stream Raiders. Hydrate. I'm out of coffee. Let's make sure I got some fresh cold water here if I'm going to hydrate. Cheers, folks. Still got a toy with those compression and triggers on the mics here that randomly picking up the water there was a little weird. Actually, I think we can probably mix these since they're both going on the same dish as garnish. And I think it'll help them not be all stuck together. Interesting day. I felt like I was rushing around all day. Between getting in time to call and talk to Mom today and the Formula One race being in the US, so it was, like midday compared to being first thing in the morning when it's in Europe. And having to go out and get some tuna, which I can find seafood locally, but good seafood, I gotta take a little bit of a trip. There's 2 or 3 decent seafood shops in the county that I would go to. There's one of the ones that I went to today is sort of like they got a little bit of everything and they're relatively good on their quality. But if I was going out I want something fresh from the ocean, I'd take the trip out to like Bodega Bay or something like that and get some real stuff. But we got our tuna all pounded out already, buns. We've got our garnish ready. We've got our crostini already cooked up. We're just going to poach we just have to poach and rechill our foie gras, and then we can do our final plating here, actually. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to return that other mic. Didn't say that it needed phantom power, but I was sort of somewhat suspicious of it needing it because it had the 3.5mm with the locking lug on it. Usually the ones that lock are the ones that want some phantom power. And just using the little... I got these guys for my transmitters, and they're not going to give me any phantom power. Phantom power is a music thing. Certain microphones will require power to the microphone, but instead of using power like as a separate line, it uses some magic. It's not really magic, but it uses some magic and puts low power on the same line that they're sending the signal out on. And so you'll see a lot of the higher end. There's a big cutoff in audio between the basic stuff for home and anyone that's getting into actual like band professional sound. And yeah, if I'm right on that line right now where I'm using the personal at home stuff, but I'm using the top end of the personal at home stuff, and the transition is just so much more. But it also means that you need to have a setup that supports all that stuff, which I don't at this point. I don't have any of the other stuff that you would have in a rack or anything like that as far as just plugging it into my computer. It's sort of funny because it's both higher tech and lower tech at the same time. Because I would think anything plugged into a computer is probably going to be able to compute things better than... But music, it's all about how it's processed and how you get to those sounds. All right, let's drop this first one in there. Ah, stay in there. We want your fat to stay in there. I was debating tying it. I don't know if you noticed me there. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for sure. But I'm going to throw this back in the fridge now. I'll show you. Unpoached, partial poached, full poached. So for the next two, we'll cheat a different way. Just taking entirely way too long. I need to poach these and get them back in the fridge. Your battle to war. Victory. Victory. Lucinda getting us those kills and assists. Hazeltari, and you're kidding me, getting the rewards. Narek helping us out with the kills. Hazel getting a couple. Top or bottom? I think we're going to go bottom here. That one's an extra. It's the same. Same as last time here. If I can find my Berserker. There we go. I'll let you fill out the rest. Okay, this is going back in the fridge. This I'm going to dump in the water. Well, let's tie this up first. While the battle was going, I went and grabbed some twine, which is what I should have done the first time. I mean, this is a lot quicker than wrapping it 50 times. This is actually supposed to be poached in cheesecloth, but I didn't feel like losing that much fat, which, I mean, if you're Le Bernardin, you can afford to do that. Let's try this. Thank you, Clipper. I appreciate that. I've been trying to figure out a way to do that somewhat automated. I know Discord is doing its best to prevent that from being automated at all. And you can do it somewhat with webhooks, but I'm also at the disadvantage of I haven't been using Facebook or Instagram for quite some time now, and now I'm stopping using Twitter too, so... Oh, hey. Just realizing you're not seeing this beautifulness going on. What I'm doing over here. Alright, now back in the fridge. We want all that fat to set back up. I appreciate that, Clipper. Mm. We got pretty much everything done for tonight. We can do our carpaccio though, while we're waiting on the. So we have our somewhat circular piece for dinner tonight. And we have our scraps. I tried to post a photo of it, or show a photo on stream here. My web browser crashed my OBS. But if you Google that, if you highlight that and give that a Google, click over to images, there are some great images of this dish. It's this beautifully pure looking tuna, pounded out thin, perfectly shaped for this angled dish that they have with it, with the rest of the goodness hidden underneath for the most part. I'm going circular instead of the shape they have for their plate. I don't have a cutesy plate that shape. We're going to add to this little olive oil. Some tamari. Where is it? Oh, there it is. just the tiniest drizzle of little apple brandy. Oh, that was too much. If you have some truffle, add a little salt on top of that soy. And pepper. Lastly, a few black sesame seeds. Actually, we can put a bit more on that one. I only want to do 2 of these. We'll do that as our appetizer to a dish of the same style. What did I do with my phone? Oh, it's charging. It's a charging. Not anymore. Cheers, folks. Almost wish I had a little wasabi. That is mighty yummy and tasty. I feel like it needs something to cut it, though. Like something spicy, something peppery, something truffly, like complex. Not sure about that one. This one needs something more, I think. It's beautiful and simple and quite tasty as it is, but you know what it might need? Let's try a little drop of sesame oil here. It helped. Yeah. All sorts of people in our Stream Raiders battle this time. All sorts of help. So we're just waiting on that to solidify up a little bit. It hopefully won't take too long. Do have quite the battle going on here this week in Discord for our ingredient challenge. Work with me, mouse. Come on, over the other monitor. Got Coca Nibs versus Taki flavored taco shells. I've warned before, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find Taki taco shells. It might be just substituting Takis. But we're either going chocolatey or spicy on Wednesday. So I hope you come back for that. But I think the star of this week, this is a star dish. This is a very simple, very clean dish that hopefully is going to look beautiful. Tomorrow's dish is probably going to be absolutely ugly delicious. Going to be doing fried duck with waffles and foie gras. We'll be using the foie gras practically as butter. Yeah. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I just like doing duck. Duck is just It's got great flavor. It's so pricey, but it is so flavorful. And I love it's irony. It's got some meatiness to it while it's still a poultry. Everyone have fun for their Mother's Day. Everyone take their mother out to dinner tonight. I hope so. Cook dinner for them. At least call them, which was what I did, but I live across the country, so. Busiest day of the year for restaurants is today, which the last 2 years I don't think they're probably too busy tonight, but everyone it used to complain when I was in college, like, oh. They lucked out, though, this week. The restaurants lucked out. Last year was the bad year, and they lucked out because it's COVID, but Saturdays are the worst when it comes to Mother's Day. But Sunday, it's okay. The reason I say that is because Saturday, opening, you'll have busiest night of the week, or the year, and then brunch after Mother's Day. Oh yeah, that's busy too. So if you're in a restaurant that does both, good luck. I used to work at a wine bar in West Hollywood on what was West Beverly, and worked there for a month or two, not very long. I wasn't there very long. And I'm forgetting why I'm bringing this up now. Oh, Mother's Days. Opening and closing. Opening. They were so bad with that because we only had 3 or 4 people in the kitchen. We had 5 in the kitchen, but that included dishwasher. And so we had like maybe one person that could call out without us having issues. Yeah, it would be Saturday into Sunday. Saturday night, it's a wine bar. It's happening until late night. And we're supposed to be back, and then we're all living in LA. So I mean, if you've been in Beverly, you've been in LA. Yeah, good luck finding parking, especially if you're an employee. There's all sorts of parking for people that want to shop or go to things. Most of it's paid, but you're really looking if you're employed, because not only are you looking for cheap because you're going to be there all day, but none of the places you can park in Beverly are like for a shift. Like they're all got certain periods of times of the day that you can be there, sort of a thing. And so I don't know how many of you have worked in kitchens before. Try asking your boss to go out and move your car because you parked somewhere that you got to change in the middle of your shift. uh, the restaurant had one spot that 90% of the time ended up being empty because the GM wanted to claim it as his and then didn't park there, which obviously frustrated everyone else out who is looking for a cheap parking space for the day. You the one right there. Why can't I use that? The boss doesn't use it. Why? I don't know why he didn't use it. Maybe he lived nearby. Solidify already, please. Solidify, please. Just gonna chill here until our next stream. Or next battle. That kitchen was the kitchen I've told you before. I've said before I had a kitchen where I had a chef that was just an absolute jerk and was drinking on the line and would throw pans at people if he got mad at people, and that's why I only stayed there for a little while. Spent more time in a restaurant. Sadly, though, even though the chef sort of treated me like junk there, probably would have done a little bit better staying there versus going to the fast casual place I went to after, and just it was a waste of my time. They didn't care that I had knowledge in food. They just wanted a body. Another one of those songs with words that but doesn't have words. All sorts of units out there. Got several warriors, several tanks. The heck is that thing head, Mama Bear? Giant berserker. Hmm. Yeah, for monks. Healers and damage. Battle. Do we want to go for haste or do we want to go for something else with this battle? Yeah, let's do haste. Achille. Not quite sure how to pronounce that one. That was closest guess. Dolomite helping us out with those kills and assists. Got Zero Domine and Nusra helping us out with the kills as well. Hazel Tari and Lee Luna Mouse getting those rewards. Thank you, thank you. Stumbling all over the names tonight. Ooh, do we do one more? I think we're pretty much just... How close are we on our foie gras? Is that setting up yet? Oh, hey, it's in the freezer. This is going to need a little bit longer, I think. Let's do one more battle. I'll do a 10-minute AFK, and then we'll come back and plate, and then we'll finish our battle. We'll call it an evening. So we'll start one last battle tonight. Alright, so we got a little bit of everything out there. We got the tanks out there for defense. But I got an archer out there this time, so... Trying to get myself up to several of my units on the top end up to 30. So that's why I got the archer out there. Alright, I'm going to take a couple minute AFK while we allow that to continue setting up. I wish I had planned better for this slowdown. I didn't think about the... I thought about the poaching, but I didn't think about the time needing it for it to set back up. Apologize about that. Let's take a quick AFK. I'll show you some old school commercials, and we'll be back to plate up and finish our last battle of the evening.
Alexis Lachine wines are full of flavor. Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food, or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines. When you have a Labatt's, you have an adventure. Canadian Light, that's Labatt's. It's a great new taste in beer. Enjoy import quality at USA prices. Have an adventure. Have a Labatt's.
Off into space. Man, that takes real teamwork. And here's a team of junior spacemen with an out-of-this-world breakfast that teams up V8 juice and Cheerios for flavor and energy. What a treat! A flavorful glassful of refreshing V8 juice and Cheerios with power protein, plus vitamin B1 for Go Power. And now, here's a special out-of-this-world free offer. This Moon Rocket Kit, both a toy and an exciting game. First, blast off. It separates in midair and lands 2 spacemen on a moon map. You get this wonderful game only through this free offer. Send your name and address and 1 V8 label plus 1 box top from these specially marked packages of Cheerios, Kix, or Frostios to Moon Rocket Kit, Mount Vernon 10, New York. Get Campbell's V8 cocktail vegetable juice with any one of these Big G cereals.
There's no other box of facial tissues like this. Scotty's new Magic Oval box. Only Scotty's give you tissues that float up gently, one at a time, and come out in neat handfuls, too, because there's a Magic Oval inside every new Scotty's box. Only Scotty's Magic Oval can give you tissues that float up, smooth and easy. No tugging, no tearing, no extra tissues tagging along. And Scotty's Magic Oval does even more. It lets you reach in for tissues by the handful, all neatly folded, just right for pocket or purse. Scotty's new Magic Oval box is pretty, too. And inside, soft, strong, sneeze-proof Scotty's. Remember, for tissues that float up smoothly and come out in neatly folded handfuls, look for Scotty's pretty new Magic Oval box, the only one of its kind.
Everybody needs energy-packed Sunbeam bread. Yes, it's all aboard for fun in the park, but Junior hasn't got energy enough for fun. He'd sure like to ride that horse. Hey, what's this? An energy-packed Sunbeam sandwich. You bet every delicious slice of Sunbeam bread sure does pack a big energy wallop. There's nothing like Sunbeam Energy to help you stay on the beam. Now, look at them go. On Sunbeam Energy, they sure do enjoy life. Everybody needs the kind of real zip and zing pep that delicious Sunbeam bread gives you. Yes, stay on the beam with energy-packed Sunbeam bread. All day long, eat Sunbeam bread and renew energy as you burn it up. Eat delicious Sunbeam bread.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip that's so good to serve with king-size Fritos corn chips. Just follow the recipe right on the Fritos package. Of course, it calls for the famous Philadelphia brand cream cheese, an 8-ounce package, which we blended with 2 tablespoons of milk till it's nice and smooth, like so. Then come 2 tablespoons of Kraft cream-style horseradish for zesty flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and finally, a dash of salt. And we'll blend our Philly mixture again. And when party time comes, let the folks enjoy this wonderful Philly horseradish dip with crisp king-size Fritos. There are those busy hands. Just remember, you make the best-tasting dips with the freshest-tasting cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand cream cheese, made only by Kraft.
3, 2, 1, blast off. She's up. Come in ideal countdown control. Ready for second launching.
Atlas moving into position.
Fuel her up.
All set.
Countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! There she goes!
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat, the best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
If you've ever been to Venice, you remember the gondolas and the picturesque waterways. And you remember the food, too. Superb food, prepared with that very special Italian touch. The same special Italian touch that Chef Boyardee sauce with meat can give to your meals over here. Because the recipe for this tangy sauce has been brought over from Italy by this famous Italian chef. Chef Boyardee sauce with meat is made from juicy, sun-ripened tomatoes and tender, quality beef, simmered in a spicy sauce that makes a rice and cheese loaf, a casserole, or a spaghetti dish a real Italian-style dish. So when you'd like to add that special Italian touch to your dinner, do it with Chef Boyardee sauce with meat. Try Chef Boyardee sauce with mushrooms, too. Both are prepared from the chef's own Italian recipe.
Hey, kids, look what's new. A brand new cereal just for you. Twinkles, the new star-shaped cereal in the storybook package. See? Inside, delicious, crispy, crinkly stars. And outside, a real storybook. All about Twinkles, the magic elephant. See him fly with his rotor tail. Watch him do tricks with his magic trunk. Meet Twinkle's friends, Fulton the inventor, Sanford the parrot, Wilbur the monkey, and more. Read all about their adventures on every storybook package of Twinkles. And wait till you taste those golden little stars, filled with the goodness of energy oats and corn. Remember, only Twinkles has the storybook package. Just tear the magic line and your storybook opens. Twinkles, the new star-shaped cereal in the storybook package.
What? Keeping the coffee in the icebox?
Yes, Mr. Jones, it's a new kind of coffee, roasted by a new secret process. Hence, this new none-such coffee has a different flavor, a flavor preserved by vacuum packing, the flavor retained by refrigeration after the jar has been opened. Just taste it. You can't miss that delicate aroma, that clean, mellow taste. Yes, in cooking, the way to a man's heart is most of all through the coffee pot. In every jar, you'll find 3 special pointers, valuable in all methods of making coffee. Try new none-such coffee now. Use half the jar. If not 100% satisfied, get all your money back from your grocer without argument. Special for movie week, only 28 cents a pound, plus 3 cents refundable deposit on the jar.
Folks, why do you eat Wheaties?
We like it.
But did you know it's always been whole wheat with all the bran, and bran is one of nature's best sources of food fiber.
That's news to us.
Wheaties breakfast this morning?
Sure, it helps me feel fit.
But do you know Wheaties has bran fiber your body may need?
That's news to me.
Why Wheaties?
Oh, we love the taste.
I have for years. But do you know for years you've been getting something extra for your diet? Bran fiber?
Well, that's news to me.
Wheaties. It's brand news.
And now, from the power
popular comic strip Peanuts, here are Charlie Brown and his friend.
Why, thank you, Charlie Brown. Thank you, Charlie Brown.
What's the occasion? Has Charlie Brown had another baby sister?
No, Ford has new economy twins, so he's passing out chocolate cigars to everyone.
Everyone?
Yes, everyone.
You bet your boots, everyone. 'Cause it's just like they said. We've got something big to celebrate. And here it is, Ford's Economy Twins for 1960. The economy choice of a lifetime. Oh, I'll bet you've never seen a prettier twosome than this. There's the new size Ford, the Falcon. And next to it, the large economy size Ford, the Fairlane 500. You know, the 60 Fords were featured in the recent issue of Vogue magazine. And when you run your eyes over the elegant good looks of this Fairlane 500, it's sure easy to see why Vogue says Ford means a fashion success. And all this all-new beauty is yours for an all-new price. That's right. This roomier, more luxurious Fairlane 500 is actually priced a whopping $142 less than last year. And as for this pretty Falcon over here, well, just wait till you check its price sticker. It's America's lowest priced six-passenger car. In fact, it's priced up to $124 less than the other compact cars. Look them over in your Ford dealer showroom. Two new Fords, two wonderful new ways to go the finest. Ford's Economy Twins for 1960.
Welcome back. I don't know if these have really set up. I've been taking a look at them every once in a while. I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to go with this one or not, but they definitely have not fully set up. Obviously be able to show you a better example of that tomorrow, after they've been sitting in the fridge overnight, and give you a better job. I'm just going to get dinner done at this point. So we're going to start using our messy one for tonight's dinner, because it doesn't matter that much because it's going underneath the tuna. But you can see that's starting, the outsides of it have still working, but that's looking pretty good in the center. Now if I could only find the end of the plastic wrap, it doesn't really matter. We're squeezing it out and just spreading it on top of here, so. Don't want to overwhelm it on this. You do want to be somewhat delicate with this one, and how much you're putting on there. See, almost set up there. Not quite, though. I didn't mean to get that all over my nice plate. Then we have our pounded out tuna. Going to remove the plastic on the top of that. Give that a light dusting of salt and pepper. Figure out what that black speck is. Light salt. Pepper. And we're going to take this and carefully if I wanted to go full fine dining with this, it would have been bigger and cut perfectly. This is me trying to keep as much as possible in there. But I mean, we could have done a perfect circle or something more like that. Let's put the rest of this foie gras back in the fridge to cure. Now we'll do light olive oil over the top. Salt and pepper on this side. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera. And there you go, folks. Simple, plain, but pretty, glossy, nicely coated fish with some light layer of foie gras, some toast underneath. camera time. I am in Northern California. I live in Sonoma County. So, wine country. I've been having great fun the last 10 years or so, trying out different vineyards and stuff like that, and working my way through cheap supermarket wine at the same time. Love it here, but don't own my own property. Don't know that I will be able to get a piece of property out here. But can't do wrong with the food availability, and I mean, I got to get back into farmers markets. I got to get starting some fresh produce in here for June. To show some of the true bounty that we have here. We've got tuna two ways here tonight. Though, as I was saying before, I was talking about being down in LA. I did spend, what was it, about 3 years in LA? 2 years? 3 years? 3 years. I think I had 2 places for a year and a half. So, I've also lived Arizona, Midwest. I obviously went to New York for culinary school. So, been a little bit all over the U.S., but mostly just the continental U.S. Have not been to Hawaii, Alaska. Yeah. How we looking at our last battle here? I appreciate that, Clipper. Thank you. Because that is a major, I mean, I have some picky people as far as food and friends and family, and so much of it is preparation. And if it's not right one way, it can be completely different another way. But then again, it also, liver, unless you see someone do it and go through the processes, say why it's like that, I can see not being interested in it. I have not had balut. I've had some close things to balut, but I have not partaken in that. But I've had some weird stuff at the same time too, just not balut. Tequila might do a good job of doing that for you. Maybe a little mescaline. Why did I say mescaline? I watched Fear and Loathing the other day, so it's probably why it's. I was not thinking mescaline. I was thinking, what is the other tequila? Mezcal. Yes. Not lettuce mix. We'll call it lettuce mix. Yeah, I'm sort of iffy on some things like tripe and that too, because I've tried them and had them and actually enjoyed them in several Asian restaurants. But is it going to be done that way normally? And I have no idea how they made it. So, can I replicate that and still enjoy it? I think I'm going to pour myself the last of my port for... Oh, maybe not the last of it. But I'm going to pour myself some port. Oh. Can't quite get that one last one. Close battle here. It's down to the ranged. We won it, though. We won it, though. Victory. Lin J getting those kills. Nova Ferns getting the assists. Hazel Tari and Goro getting the gold. Congrats to you. Ink Scrolls, which I don't need. Archer Scrolls, which I could use. Awesome. So we'll start there tomorrow when we're doing duck and waffles. I hope you come back and join me for that. Have we had anyone guide the raid tonight? I haven't looked at channel points in a moment here. Do not see that. Let's take a look and see who's online tonight. Bun Buns giving me a name. Thank you, thank you. Let's put this bottle away first. Alright, so let's set up this raid. Let's go hang out with Sammy tonight. She's playing Nancy Drew, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. It's a game that I have not heard of, though I am intrigued by. As I said before, we'll be back here tomorrow night. I hope you come back and join me for that. Going to be doing Foie Gras now through Friday. Going to be doing ravioli on Friday. I had one other thing that I was maybe going to do today, but I didn't plan for it, but we'll maybe make that up on Friday. Duck and waffles. We got the ingredient challenge for Wednesday. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Hope to see you back. Good night now. Let's go hang out with Sammy.